From the New York City area, welcome to the Badass Counseling Show, where the master badass himself, Sven takes you deep and gives balm for the soul, baby.
Well, here we are, bringing balm to the soul, and you just happened to stumble upon us, balming. It's great to have you. We don't often balm, but we are balming now, and you caught us. You're about to balm with us. Let us balm together. This will be an interesting thing. Welcome to the Badass Counseling Show. I am the host of this lovely expedition, and I am joined in studio by my team, KC, who has been in the booth, but actually she had to step out and maybe actually joining us remotely. We are waiting to see if she checks in with us. And I have Rob the Rocket sitting next to me. Rob, what say ye?
It's a balmy day, and I'm feeling balmy, so I think we're ready to rock.
We have beat the shit out of that. Let's go, folks.
Yo.
Rob, tell us about Rizzo.
All right then, Sven. Rizzo wrote in and said, I guess I've just felt like a dream. I've slowly been trying to figure myself out for years. I've been reading and trying to learn to help myself. I want to change myself with everything that I'm going through. It's been rough, and lately I feel like I've been kind of stuck. I haven't felt like I've made much progress. I definitely think a lot differently than I used to, and I see the world differently. Lately, my youngest son won't speak to me. It hasn't been easy. We were so close and kind of had each other during crazy times. I've been trying to cope and make the best of it. I just feel I've lost all ambition. I know I can't ever let somebody treat me like that again, so I try to look for signs, but sometimes I just don't feel like I know what I'm even doing. Maybe you can point me in the right direction.
Rizzo, welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
Good to have you here. So tell me, you say you want to change yourself. If you were to put it in one sentence or less, what fundamentally is wrong with your life? What is the single biggest thing you most want to change?
I don't really so much change. It's, I guess, trying to find myself, who I am. I feel like I lost myself for a really long time. And with the divorce thing, after being married over 20 years, it's kind of taken me for a loop.
And when you say you lost yourself, that implies you were yourself at one point. What part of yourself, when you say yourself, have you most lost? What is the single biggest thing you've most lost?
I guess more just the desire and interest for things I used to love to do. I had tons of hobbies and things that I love to do, and I just don't have no desire anymore to do it.
And when was the divorce?
It's technically still in process, but we separated just over a year ago. And even before that, I was sleeping in another room for about another year because it was pretty toxic and it got pretty violent at times.
And when would you say, if you were to pinpoint as best you could, when did the wind go out of your sails and you sort of lost desire and sort of interest in life? If you were to pinpoint as best you could.
I would have to say probably most of it completely about 3 years ago.
3 years ago. And why 3 years ago? Why not a year ago? Why not 5 years ago? I mean, come on, you're going through a divorce. Shit had already been hitting the fan for years. You fuckers didn't just wake up one morning and say, hey, God, shit's bad this week. Let's get a fucking divorce. No, it had been going south for a while. So why not 7 years ago? Why not 1 year ago? Why 3 years ago?
I think because at that time, we had just moved the family halfway across the country to try to start new, and it was going to be a make or break. I think by that time I realized that I had to make a decision and I had to walk away. And I think that was the moment probably changed a lot of it.
And so you moved across the country and it was going to be make or break. You made that move and you realized it's break. The move didn't fucking cure shit, huh?
No.
Okay. And so then let me ask you this. What fundamentally was the single hardest part about the divorce?
Well, I guess you could say just separating from the wife. And I mean, even though it was bad, you still look at the good, even though how toxic it was. And I realize now the kind of relationship I was in, but it's, I guess, those moments, the good moments, and
so separating from the wife, the good moments, despite all the bad, the good moments. And so when you separated from the wife and the good moments, put those good moments, what did you lose by losing her, by losing those good moments? Put that into one sentence. What really are we talking about?
I guess losing the person I was for the last.
No. No, wait. I want you to back up a step. What did you lose? Because you separated from the wife. With a wife, that implies that you lost something. When she left, she was something in your life. And when she left, even though it needed to end, I gotcha. When she left, you lost something with her. What was she in your life what was she that you lost it, that she took with her? What was she bringing to your life?
Man, I mean, most of my adult memories that are great. It's a big chunk of me.
And what did she bring? And you said the good times. So a big chunk of your adult life, gotcha. And when you say good times, what, again, in one sentence, what fundamentally was she for good times? Are we talking about humping? Are we talking about somebody to hold hands with? Are we talking about just, you know what? I had somebody to eat my fucking meals with. Are we talking about, what? We love to travel together. Are we talking about, what are we talking about? What precisely did she bring to your life? Precisely.
To feel safe at those times. It was like a safety, I guess.
Okay. That's a brilliant answer. That's a fucking brilliant answer, especially coming from a man. That having a woman as your partner makes you feel safe. Now, for a lot of people, it's going to be like, whoa, how can a woman make a man feel safe? Usually, the man makes the woman feel safe from bears and wolves and things like that. Help people listening to the show understand, in what way, above all else, did she make you feel safe? Help us understand you, Rizzo.
I mean, I'm a man, and, out in the real world, I mean, whether it's business, it doesn't matter what it is, it's cutthroat. I mean, we're battling all day long. And the best place we look forward to come home to is, someone that we have a sense of peace and security with, and to get away from it, get a break from all of that, and knowing that we're safe there.
And that security comes in the form of what? How is that conveyed?
More about understanding, I guess, being understanding about what, I guess I went through throughout the day.
Okay,
how
great.
My day went.
You're killing it here, brother. Brother, you are killing it here. You're doing great. So to have someone that understood me at the end of a hard day where I'm out fucking slaying dragons out in the world. Okay, now the money question, although everyone up to this has been a money question, now the real money question, when you felt understood, besides safe, how did that make you feel?
At peace.
Why?
Because I didn't have to worry. I guess I didn't have to worry. I mean, because I had someone there to battle it with me, I guess.
You didn't have to worry about what?
I mean, just life, I guess, in general. Any struggles, anything I might have been going through emotionally in my head or out in the world. It was a place of understanding. At one time.
What? Of course, at one time when she was still there. Now it's you against the dragons and the wolves and the bears and everything else. It's you, and there's no one there helping you. There's no one there backing you up. It's just you, and there's no one saying, "I love you, honey," and you're doing great, and I believe in you. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
Wow, that's pretty accurate.
You have never been, at least in your adult life, you've never been more motherfucking alone than you are right now, and you are one miserable motherfucker. Am I correct?
You're right.
That's right. And so it's quite possible that aloneness has completely zapped your energy. Possible?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
I'd say so.
All right. Rosa, I want to put you on pause for a minute. Rob, can you tell us about Camilla?
Absolutely, Sven. Camilla also wrote in and said, I left my 28-year marriage 2 years ago. It took me 3 weeks to prepare quietly to get myself out. I left, and God provided every step of my life and continues to provide my next steps. However, everything I have achieved within the marriage was just preparation for what I had no idea was to come. I am a 2 times Ironman, built a financially healthy real estate business, and was doing a lot of the work. I even purchased your book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup, but always felt like I was in a glass box because how can you ever put faith into action when you are in abuse? I now have my own condo and my business is still providing. However, I am developing a transformational coaching business and hiking the Camino, leaving soon for a month. For healing, I burned my wedding dress and I keep following the divine breadcrumbs toward shifting my identity.
Camilla, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I got to ask the question, if everything's so great, what the fuck you doing on my show? What do you need me for?
I get into a place where I feel like I've processed, I'm finally out of a marriage that was not giving at all. I felt extremely alone for years. I solo traveled even when I was married. I did everything by myself. We were roommates at best, but I think I'm still, like 2 years later, things are rolling. I feel like, but I am still afraid to get into a relationship.
And
yet I want one,
Okay, 2 questions. 1, why do you want one?
Well, to share life with, companionship.
Okay, share life with. And I'm afraid to get into one. What is your single biggest fear in getting into one?
I mean, I was married to an extreme taker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of just not being able to trust another guy, basically, and that it would be authentic, and not get into the same crap, because I can be happy alone. I've done the work. I can be really happy alone.
But you're breaking up right now. Your voice is cracking right now.
Yes.
Give me a feeling word. What are you feeling right now? You start talking about, I can be happy alone, and the idea of, am I going to get hurt and so forth. What are you feeling right now? I want a feeling word.
That I'm worth it. That somebody knows that I'm worth it.
That's not a feeling, first of all. I need a feeling word. Why is it that when you start talking about the idea of getting into a relationship and basically, am I going to get hurt again and so forth, you start tearing up? What does it make you feel? Mad, sad, bad, glad, frustrated, excited, exuberant,
hurt.
Depressed? Hurt. And where's that feeling of hurt coming from? Have I hurt your feelings today? No. So where's that feeling of hurt coming from?
Right. I mean, let's just start with my dad. My dad was an alcoholic, very abusive. My parents divorced, never had a good relationship with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I got married.
Uh-huh.
To be honest, I knew it was wrong when I said I do, but I did, and I stuck with it. And I was deathly afraid to leave because my parents displayed a horrible divorce.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the hurt got compounded in the marriage, right?
Yeah.
Right. You know what I find most interesting about that? Well, 2 things. 1, you've got this hurt here, both from childhood and from your marriage. And there's nothing wrong with that, first of all. Nothing wrong with that. But look where you can be doing more healing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can be journaling on that. You can be writing letters to your ex that you don't send, and to dad and to mom right there. That's some healing right there. It's so fresh. And there's still so much in there that you and I are chatting a bit, and it comes right to the surface.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. That is a great indicator of, holy shit, right? I can dig right there. X marks the spot. Let's dig right there. So that's a gift for you that you just found just by talking right now.
Right. Well, did I add? I don't know what I wrote, but one of the healing things that I did do is that when I left 2 years ago, I left with just my clothes that I could put in my car.
Mm-hmm.
I started over like I was a 20-year-old kid buying furniture off of Amazon, right?
Amazing.
And for whatever reason, I took my wedding dress, and at the time I didn't know.
And then you
why.
said you just burned it. You just burned it, right?
Well, what I did with it is that I laid it down in my foyer for like 2 months, and I walked on it. I mean, it was just there. I walked on it like it was a rug. But and I had a black marker, and every time I felt a lie that was poured into me, so I've really worked on a lot of identity, I would write it all over my dress.
That's awesome.
And then after 2 months, I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? And the inspiration came where I rolled it up in twine and went down by the riverbank where I used to live with one of my best friends. And we put the thing on fire and
it's awesome.
Be gone.
That's awesome. I love that. Good for you. And so a lot of that anger and frustration got out of you. That's good. Problem is there's still a lot of sadness in there.
There is.
A lot of that hurt.
Yeah.
And that's where you're journaling and you got to push yourself. See, the thing is, especially when you're trying to power up and power through life and do all the hard ass shit that you've done, and mad respect from me, from everyone listening, mad respect for everything you have accomplished. Hats off, salute, 10-4, good buddy. That's impressive. But that means the pain part that you've had to stuff down so that you could power through, that pain part now, it is biting you hard in your hard Iron Man little ass there, Tiger.
Yeah.
You got to go into that fucking, because it's dragging your ass down. It's sucking your fucking life out of you. But I got the solution on how to not get sucked in to another extreme taker and get hurt again. Right after this short break.
You've heard Sven talk a lot about his book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup. And that's because Sven hears from his followers a lot about how much the book has helped them. If you're not sure how to handle the issues getting in the way of a better life, you're not alone. And you have a lot of choices. But thousands of readers will tell you that this is a great place to start, by yourself and at your own pace. So go to badasscounseling.com and order There's a Hole in My Love Cup, and you'll have Sven right there with you as you forge your best future. It's totally badass. So get started today.
This show provides soul counseling intended to entertain and inform and is not medical advice. Now, back to the badass.
And we are back with Rizzo and Camilla. Rizzo, I want to get back to what you were saying about this whole idea of how your wife, even though the marriage ended, she made you feel the good parts you missed when it ended, and not the least of which was you felt understood, and it made you feel safe. And as a result of feeling safe, you felt not alone in the world. And there's something about when I was back in my 20s, I remember thinking, like my early 20s, I could live anywhere in the world as long as I had my person next to me, my partner, my wife, my lover, right? And then I found my partner, and I just wanted the person that I could be with forever. And we were together 6 years and had 2 kids. She divorced me, and I discovered, guess what? Once you got kids with somebody, they're with you forever. But that wasn't quite what I had in mind. Okay, right. So anyway, point is, so you lost that. You lost that person in your corner, didn't you? And and so let me ask you, is the biggest thing then that you have felt, has it been aloneness? These last 3 years, has that been the biggest thing? And as a result of feeling alone in the world, that's what's caused you to feel unsafe? Has it been the aloneness, or has it been something else? that you have felt? Because when we have a dominant feeling, a yucky feeling, a negative feeling, it can just suck all the fucking life energy out of us. Has it been aloneness or has it been something else for you, Rizzo?
The aloneness definitely wasn't all of it. The first half, I guess you could say, the marriage was wonderful. Like I said, it changed out of nowhere. At least it seemed.
No, I'm saying since. I'm saying since in the last 3 years, since she left.
3 years.
What has been the dominant feeling that you have felt? If you were to name it, give me a feeling word.
Okay.
When you lost that person who understood you, who you came home to every night, who made you feel safe, when that went out the door, what has it made you feel when you lost that?
I guess some of it, it'd be fear. I guess the unknowing, because I don't, normally when you have someone there, you at least have direction, and then plus also trying to figure out who I am again, and not knowing what I'm, I guess, kind of leaning towards.
Put it into one sentence now, Rizzo. Put it into one sentence. What is the
future, I guess.
Fear of the future, but specifically in that future, what do you most fear happening? What's your single biggest fear moving forward?
Being alone, I guess.
Being alone. What happens when you are alone that you fear so much?
That's when I get in my own head, I guess you can say.
And what happens in your own head?
My own thoughts.
What happens in your own head, Rizzo, that you're so afraid of? You said, I fear being alone. I fear what happens in my own head. What happens in your own head? What happens in you that is so terrifying?
The messages are, am I the person that, I've always been told I was, by whether it was, my dad when I was younger, or my ex too, because when it got bad, I was told some pretty horrific
All
shit.
right. And tell me the one message you most,
believe in those lies or not.
And what was the one message you most got from dad? And what was the one message you most got maybe from mom? And what was the one biggest message you got from ex? Biggest message dad, biggest message mom, biggest message ex?
My dad was, we were worthless.
Worthless? Mom?
My mom always showed me love.
Okay.
My mom was definitely a safety
Mom was
in my
safe.
life, and
Okay.
she still is.
And then wife, biggest
And
message, worst thing that message from wife was what?
The worst thing is the same thing. It was what my dad used. Same exact words, almost the same tones. I mean, same context, everything. That I was worthless.
That's it. That's it. You have been fighting that exact message your entire life. And your mom was that balm, that salve to dad's message of you're worthless. And without mom, you needed someone your whole life to be giving you that soothing balm, that sort of that heating pad, sort of to warm you at night. And then when
I valued their opinion of me. That's where I guess I got my worth from.
Right.
That's how they thought of me.
And I got news for you, Rizzo. That's not just you. That's every kid alive. All right. Now, I want to flip back over to Camilla here. Camilla, just out of curiosity, any of this shit resonating with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I was always told as I can tie it back to a specific event when I was 7 years old.
Specifically, what happened?
My parents were fighting, and within their marriage, there was a lot of physical abuse. Mm-hmm. And I'm the youngest of four. And my dad had my mom in a corner, just beating the shit out of her. And I just hid. And in that moment, I knew it was not a safe environment to express anything. And within the environment that I grew up with, being my dad being alcoholic and
And abusive?
He always told me. I always grew up with the paradigm of thinking you're not enough and how dare you do anything different. And I grew up as the black sheep of my family, literally.
What was the message? He got the message that he's worthless. What was the message you got about you?
You're a piece of shit.
Piece of shit. There it is. Now, I had promised before our break that I had the solution for how you should avoid extreme taker. And it goes directly to what you just fucking said. You got the message that you were a piece of shit. And so it comes time to get married. And you were how old when it comes to marrying time?
Yeah, I was 26.
26. Now, is it reasonable to assume that by age 26, you had not done the healing to get that message out of you, that deep down you still believed you were a piece of shit?
Absolutely.
And so what this fella brought to your life was what? Why did you choose to marry him? In briefly.
Well, can I back up for a minute? What resulted in that is what put me in that space. I remember in my 20s, I drank a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure you did.
I mean, drinking was a part of, I'm all Italian. I mean, we made wine as a family. I mean, I grew up, it was our identity, right? I mean,
my girlfriend grew up in the Bronx. I get it.
Yeah,
Italian,
so it was a part of everything that we did. And so I went to college and, I could go on with all the stories, but thank God I'm still alive, right? Put it that way. And I drank heavily, and then I stopped and I went into recovery. I went just to AA meetings, right? For 2 years. And then I went out and drank because at that point in my 20s, I couldn't grasp that it was really alcohol was my problem. It was where I grew up, and so I had to test it out some more.
Yep.
And my sponsor at the time then just completely discarded me. She never talked to me again. Once I drank up, she put the door shut and gone. And so I felt all of that abandonment, all of that discard.
And then what happened? Then you met the guy?
I went inside, and we were a blind date. And 1 year later, we married. And what the hell? And I was locked up inside, and I was not going to work on that.
And you said a bit ago that you knew it was wrong before you got married. And in one sentence or less, how did you know it was wrong?
I had an intuitive knowing. I just knew.
So you knew it was wrong and you chose it anyway because why? One sentence.
Subconsciously, I'm still a piece of shit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so by choosing marriage, that still doesn't say why you chose the marriage, though. If I choose the marriage, then I'm not a piece of shit?
No, it was just more of what I knew. It's just what I was supposed to do. And my dad at the time said, I can't even believe you're getting married. Like my dad continued to say all kinds of shit. And,
okay.
and then I went back and stayed within that lesson of what I learned as a 7-year-old kid. I'm staying here.
That's it. And so the answer then to I'm afraid of getting involved again, the answer is a couple of things. You got to get all that hurt out of you. The very stuff the tough girl, Italian girl doesn't want to touch, all that hurt, all that sadness, you have to get that out of you. It is dragging you the fuck down. 1. 2, you got to listen to your intuition, young lady. Mm-hmm. As in act on it, especially when it's small. You're never going to have to make a big decision of, should I trust this guy? Mm-hmm. If you just, in all the small decisions, nip it in the bud when it doesn't feel good. Hey, you know what, Tony? That didn't feel good when you said that to me. I need you to apologize. Oh, I didn't do anything wrong. You didn't? Oh, okay. My bad, Tony. But you know what? This isn't working out with us. In other words, if you keep nipping things in the bud when it's small, and if the other person doesn't respond favorably, you have to be willing to walk away, which is the very thing you did not do in your marriage when you knew it was wrong. You've got to be willing to do it when it is small, when it is small, when it is small. Why? So that when it is the person who responds, maybe it's not Tonio, but maybe it's Fabrizio, and Fabrizio says, you know what? I did hurt you. I see that, and I'm sorry. And that wasn't okay. And then the next time where maybe Fabrizio shows up late for the second time. Fabrizio, come on now. This is the second time. This is not okay. Or where Fabrizio opens up and he holds you to it and he says, hey, I need you to open up some. Come on now. I've opened up, and you're holding each other to it. But it's checking it when it's small and checking it when it's small. You have to be so in tune to your intuition that you're not letting someone off the hook. Geez, because I just don't want to sit alone with my own piece of shitness. Which also means you're saying, I want a relationship. But you got to ask yourself, am I wanting a relationship so that I don't go back, so that I don't have to be alone with my feelings of knowing I'm a piece of shit inside? So that's the third thing you have to do. You got to go into that fucking messaging, because my book, There's a Hole in My Love Cup, is intended to take you down. And when you went through it the first time, you didn't go down deep enough, because it is down there. You are terrified to touch those exact feelings. You don't want to touch that exact shit, because that is still there. So it's one, you got to be flushing out the hurt. Two, in any new dating, you got to be nipping it when it's small. And three, you got to go into that, which brings me back to Rizzo. You're worthless.
Yep.
That's the fucking message. That is what's chewing you up. It's not that you need to find yourself. You have not lost yourself, Rizzo. Yourself is where it's always been. It's right down there, down deep inside you. It's where it's been since you were a little boy. And then your cocksucker dad started dumping that shit on you. And I don't mean to be a fucknut here, but mom didn't defend you. She didn't stop it or get you the fuck out. Not trying to be a dick, but that's kind of job number one of the parent, is to protect. Okay, but back to dad. And all those messages got packed into you on top of your authentic voice is down there. It never went anywhere. You haven't lost yourself. I know it feels that way. You haven't lost yourself. Still there. But what's in there, just like this fucking hurricane, cyclone, Death Star inside of you, is this giant message of you fucking worthless piece of shit.
Yeah.
And until that is out of you, brother, it is in you. And what you've wanted in the past is that soothing female voice that mama was and still is. But come on. I mean, you know, at your age, whatever, mom's aging, you know, whatever. And then you had your wife. Did she divorce you? Or did you divorce her?
Well, it's kind of mutual.
No, come on. It's never mutual.
I was the one that pulled away and tried to, and it was her the one that finalized it, basically.
Okay. Yeah. And so as a result, yeah, you've been alone with that inner voice, and just exactly like Camilla.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. That voice is there. And let me ask you, what's the scariest part for you at the idea of going down there and sort of talking about and feeling that message and staring that message in the face? What's the scariest part about the idea of talking about this whole message that you are worthless? What's the most uncomfortable or scary part about that, Rizzo?
Yeah, maybe that'll never be good enough, I guess. There'll always be something wrong. It devalues anything good inside me, I guess you can say.
Okay. If we were to take that voice, that message, all right, that you're a piece of shit, that you're worthless. Actually, piece of shit was Camilla's. So let's take yours, worthless, from dad and from ex. Let's take that and let's put it over on the shelf, okay? We're going to put that on the shelf just for a minute. And we'll take it out. It's like a cartridge. We'll take it out, put it over there on the shelf. We can put it back in a minute, all right? I promise I'll give it back. I won't steal it from you, all right? You can have it back. I know you've had it for a long time. It's precious. And it sounds dopey, But I'll do this with people and I'll talk about it. And a lot of times when people are on sort of the cusp of healing, they're like, Sven, this sounds weird, Sven, but I don't know who I would be if I didn't have that voice. It's almost kind of scary. It's exciting, but it's also scary. So anyway, we're going to take that cartridge, like an old 8-track tape, and we're going to put it over there on the shelf. Okay, so now that negative voice is out just for a minute. I'll give it back in a minute. So it's just you now. So now it's just you. What % do you love you? Those old voices are over there. All right. They're not in you right now. And even before you answer that, I want to ask you this. What do you love the most about you? What do you just enjoy about you? I mean, I got to be honest. Our listeners can't see you right now. I can. But at the very least, dude, you got the most gorgeous head of hair. I would fucking kill for that fucking head of hair. At your fucking age, you're like my age, like maybe a few years younger. I don't know, but god damn, I would kill for that head of hair. Dude, you guys, he's got this like dark head of hair, a little bit of salt and pepper going on. It's like
handsome as fuck. Handsome as fuck.
KC saying handsome as fuck. Exactly. Okay, so I gotta say there we hear from KC when there's a good looking man in the house. All right. So Rizzo, what do you love about you? If you're to be totally honest, what do you love about you?
When I am joyful, I guess I see things differently, and I mean, I don't know. I try to look at the little things in life to try to make the best of everything. But not complain as much.
Okay.
But I think I got a sense of humor, maybe sometimes, or at least I think it's funny. But
All
right.
right.
I don't know.
All right.
I mean,
you've just listed 3 things. You're joyful. You appreciate the little things. You got a sense of humor. I'll bet you're a hardworking guy.
Yeah.
You take pride in your work. Well, there's another.
My hands will show it.
And your hands will show it. All right. You've earned those hands, motherfucker. All right. Hard worker. All right. And per one of the women in this group, you're a handsome guy. All right. All right. And I'll take the head of hair. So look at us. Look at us right there. We got a list of 6 motherfucking things. We got the hair, the handsome, joyful, appreciate the little things. You got a sense of humor and you're a hard worker. How about that? And you're obviously modest because I had to pulling teeth. But just for a moment, can we just set the modesty aside just for a moment? And I get it, and I respect that. But can we set it aside just for a minute? All right? I grew up Swedish American. I grew up with the modesty thing. I get it. But can we set it aside just for a minute? So recognizing you got some really beautiful things about you, my man. Now, again, that cartridge of all the hatred from all the people in your past is over there on the shelf. What % do you love you?
Maybe 50%.
How about that? How about that? So Dad was wrong. Dad was wrong. And the truth is, there's still residue and viruses from that cartridge. We can put the cartridge back in now, but that other 50% is still the residue from the cartridges and the X. And all you got to do, my man, is keep flushing. You got to be willing to go into that cyclone of worthlessness, and that cyclone, like with Camilla, the cyclone, a piece of shit. The two of you got to go into it. You've been running from those voices. You can't run by busyness. You can't run by distraction and depression. You have to go right into the eye of the storm. You have to. It's just not even a question because it's infecting all of your life. It's sucking your life energy. And in Camilla's case, she's running frantically by going 100 miles an hour with her hair on fire, doing everything to distract herself from it. Those are two completely different responses to the identical fucking problem. Did you hear that? One of you is convinced you're a piece of shit. The other is convinced you're worthless. You were taught that as children. I have a question to both of you right now. I'm going to ask you the exact same question. Is it possible for a child to be a worthless or piece of shit person?
No.
Rizzo?
No.
Exactly.
No.
You were taught a lot.
No.
KC, I want to bring you in here. What say ye?
Rosso, I want to say, first of all, I really appreciated the fact that he was able to be vulnerable enough that he said to us that the woman that he was with made him feel safe.
Bingo.
I mean, for a woman to hear a man admit that, I can't even tell you. You're going to have fan mail probably from this show after that. Like that is such a wonderful thing for any woman to hear. I strive to make the men in my life feel safe. I strive to make everyone in my life feel safe in every way possible.
Casey, can I interject one thing there?
Sure.
One thing.
Yeah.
However, the other side of that is that feeling of being understanding for your man can feel like a burden if he's not also healing his own shit.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you were that way, Rosa. I'm not saying you were that way, but with some men, if I'm constantly leaning on you, I need you to pick me up. I need you to tell me how great I am. I need you to, and you just, wait. Rosa just giggled there. Rosa, what was the giggle?
Because I was definitely not like, I like to hear appreciation, just like anybody else does. But it wasn't like that.
Okay,
anyway.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Casey. Go ahead.
I didn't necessarily equate a man feeling safe with a woman with all those things that you just mentioned. To me, I feel safe with my partner when that partner is allowing me to be myself. When that partner just provides a kind word when I get home at night, or makes me a cup of coffee, or shows me that they're there for me, or that they're not chasing other women around. Those are the kinds of things that make me feel safe. So when he said that, those were the kinds of things I thought I was hearing him acknowledge, but I could have been mistaken about that. So I didn't mean to say that, he should be, giving and not getting anything back, if that's what you mean.
No, I didn't hear you say that.
You nailed it right on the head when you said that.
Okay, great.
Pretty much you took the words out of my
mouth. And then I just wanted to say that, we come back to this on this show over and over again. People not loving themselves, and for the longest in my life, before I started doing the work, and the work is never ending, right? I really did not love myself either. And I didn't even realize how bad it was. But then I realized that the same things that people thought were, or tried to infer were weaknesses in me, were the things that made me special, as long as they came from a place of strength, and those are things like having a huge heart, no matter how much I've been put down or abused in my life, I have never closed my heart off to people. I've gotten stronger about having boundaries and saying no. But I meet each person for who they are, and I meet them with an open heart. And I feel like you're that same type of a person. You've been through a lot of shit, but you haven't closed your heart. And I think that that's so important. And I can tell that you have a huge heart, and you should put that on the list of things that you love about yourself. And you should be creating lists of things that you love about yourself. And to Camilla, first thing I want to say to you is congratulations on your sobriety. Really, I think it's terrible that person that was sponsoring you just dumped you when you dipped back in or whatever. If she couldn't handle you, she should have passed you on to someone else. She shouldn't have just abandoned you like that. That really sucks. So congratulations on your sobriety. You have so much pain in you, and I think Sven pointed to it, when you broke down almost right away. We can do a lot of the work intellectually, and then this one thing triggers us. We break down and cry, and those tears are there to teach us something. Wow, like this last night, I sat with a friend whose dog was dying, and the dog actually died while I was there. And today I did a bunch of journaling and everything when I got home, and this morning. And then I was saying it to a friend of mine, another friend of mine. And as soon as I started talking about it, I went hysterical crying. And I was like, holy shit, I need to do a lot of work on this. Watching this animal die was a trauma for me, and it's going to stay with me unless I get it out of me. So Camilla, you got a lot of work to do. I hope you'll either do it with Sven, get a different counselor, or join Community Plus. But, there's more work to be done. There's always work to be done, especially when we see that pain inside of us.
But the fact that you've done so much already says that you got it.
Absolutely.
You know how to do this stuff.
And I came from that same family you did, believe me. So I totally get it.
I mean, I know we don't, it's just in the exchange that we have here. I really have, even in the last 2 years, have done quite a bit of healing work,
Awesome.
Which I know there's always more. And I really believe that once you're on this path, like you just said, Casey, it just doesn't end.
It just keeps opening up.
It just keeps opening up.
And we can tell you did the work. We can tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I really have done the work and understanding my boundaries now, one of the questions was in the very beginning when I first started counseling, when I got out of that marriage with somebody that is, if I think if I'm a piece of shit, that I must think God's a piece of shit, because then therefore,
God,
you know what I mean? Well,
wow.
like just the identity, right, of who I am. Like, let's talk about, truth versus lies. And that was part of the whole wedding dress process, right? That's been my whole, I was chasing that when I did Ironmans when I was married. But now I can honestly stand and say, I know my worth is not based on performance. It's not based on anything. I am worthy. Really, I know I am worthy just by being who I am.
That's wonderful. I love that.
I love that. Right? I love the wedding dress story that you told. I think that story empowers a lot of women.
And thank you for your insights, KC. That's golden stuff.
Thank you.
My to-do list, I've already given you yours, Camilla. 1, you need to be journaling on all the hurt and writing letters to your father, to your mother. Letters you don't send. You don't need to send these. Right. And just on the sadness. You've done so much great stuff in your work already. And yes, healing is a forever thing, but it's not. See, this is where I differ from a lot of folks. It's not that when we've gotten the major stuff, the biggest stuff, especially from childhood out of the love cup, that really all we're addressing then is new stuff coming in. And dude, if you've done the big shit from childhood, fuck. Going through a divorce or the loss of love, heartbreaking? Yes. Child going through surgery, terrifying, yes. Death of your favorite horse that you've had for 15 years, massive, for sure. But if you've had to heal your own fucking childhood of being taught for the first 50 years or 40 years or 30 years of your life that you were a piece of shit, that's as big as it gets, or damn near. So you're well skilled. So yeah, there's going to be new stuff, but the only thing, the glaring thing that I need to see, that I see that you need to address is that sadness, all that sadness. And that's just going in and being willing to cry, being willing to hurt, being willing to be sad, to grieve. The grieve, really, what that little girl wanted. I just want somebody to be nice to me. As she's clutching her little Mrs. Beasley doll or her little teddy bear or whatever it was, just be nice to me. I'll do anything. Just be nice to me. And then all the slings and arrows that you were taking to your little heart. And then also you could probably just dig around in there some more about any really thoughts and feelings more about the whole piece of shit thing. But then otherwise, other than those two things, it's just in your dating, in the starting of any new relationships, nipping it in the bud, trusting your intuition when something feels off, and don't let it go untalked about. Nip it in the bud and keep nipping it in the bud. And if the person doesn't address it, if the person doesn't treat you well, you got to be willing to walk away, even if they have a gorgeous head of hair and they're humble and they have working man's hands. You got to be willing to walk away and trust that the good Lord is taking care of you, or just trust that, because every time you're willing to walk away from something that isn't right, that is you confirming your own worth. Okay. And Rosa, I want to say this, what you need to be doing, my man, what you need to be doing, you have a few things that I want you to be journaling on. I want you to be journaling, you need to go deep into the message that you got from Dad, that whole worthless thing. That what I recommend is bullet pointing. All the times where I literally bullet point list every single memory I have where he either said it or implied it or even a look or turned his back on me or whatever, where he implied I'm worthless or some other similar message. Just list those in bullet points. And then next to each of those bullet points, just list the feeling of how it made me feel. Well, this one made me feel sad and embarrassed because it was in front of all my friends. But then this one made me feel white hot with anger. I wanted to kill him. I was so mad at him because he said my sister was great and I was bad. And even I knew she was wrong in this case. I wanted to kill him. And then in this case, and every single one, list your feelings and then go back through and actually journal and write about the event itself and the feelings. So the first thing is the bullet, just remembering what the memory is. Second thing next to it is the feeling. And then the third thing is flushing out the story. So it's like when I used to work with, pilots and flight crews and so forth. I'd take them, we'd talk about the event itself. Then I'd take them down deeper and tell me what was going on inside of you during the event. Then after we'd talked about and gotten their feelings out, then I'd say, tell me the event again. So now I'm bringing them back out. Tell me about the event again. And then I'd take them out in terms of, all right, we're back into sort of just reality here. And so this is what you're going to be doing is just bullet pointing, then the feelings, then journaling about the event and the feelings. All right. And this is going to go big into it, but you need to be willing. You're good at feeling all these feelings. I've been down. I've lost myself. So you're feeling the feelings. That's phase one. Phase two is giving them an exit point. That's what the journaling and the letter writing. And maybe you write some letters to your old man. You fucking asshole. I hate you so fucking much, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Piece two is on the ex. You need to be journaling about and writing letters to your ex that you don't send. And specifically on the anger and rage at her over those same worthless piece of shit, all those other messages, the negative messages you got, but also especially where you can be doing your biggest work with your ex is writing her letters that you don't send about sadness and love that you still feel for how she made you feel so safe and warm and understood, loved. And I miss that. And I'm just going to make up a name, Sandy. And Sandy, I miss that. I miss you for that. You fucking bitch. Why couldn't you have just been da-da-da-da? Why did you have to throw it out? God, I miss that about you. And allow your tears to come out. Allow your soul to heave with sadness. Because that's that exit point. We're getting those trains getting out of the station here, all right? So you're writing a letter of anger over hurting you, over all those mean and nasty things, and a letter of love that I miss that, and I love you, and I miss our love, and I miss how you made me feel, and feelings of sadness. And then lastly, and this is master level challenge here for you, my brother.
All right.
I want you to journal about or write a letter to that you don't send. This is master level shit here. And if you don't want to do it, no problem. All right. Not my business. It's just a challenge. Journal about or write a letter you don't send to Mom.
Okay.
You didn't protect me, Mom. I love you so much, Mom. Thank you for everything you did. But why didn't you protect me, Mom? I was just a little boy. And I know he was mean to you and everything, but you were an adult. I was a little boy. I had no power. You had way more power than me. Why didn't you protect me? I'm mad at you. You hurt me. You pushed me out of the foxhole to take bullets while you hid and you were safe. You could have protected me. You could have done something. Take me to the homeless shelter. Let's go to the church and they can, or the synagogue, and they can protect us. You could have done something. Now that's master level shit because you got your mom on a pedestal. So if you don't want to do that, that's okay. No judgment. But that's a real challenge because she didn't. Or she could have done more. All right. That's that. So my final question of the day is this. To each of you, what do you most want to say to the other person? Camilla, you go first. To Rizzo, and Rizzo, what do you most want to say to Camilla?
Oh.
Yeah. Because you guys' stories are actually similar. We didn't see that. In
Right.
fact, my production team said, I have no idea what these two have in common, but fucking hey, let's throw them together and see what comes out. And here we are, you got to admit, kind of similar. So Camilla, what do you have to say to Rizzo? And then Rizzo, what do you have to say to Camilla? Give me anything.
Rosa, I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing and keep digging in, because the answers are the inside of us. It doesn't matter what happened on the outside shit. We just need it's all on the inside.
Yeah.
Just keep doing. Keep getting your hands dirty. Keep looking good. Keep brushing that hair.
Thank you.
And Rizzo, what words do you have for Camilla?
Don't close your heart off to nobody. Don't close your heart off.
How about that? Boy, you didn't see that one coming, did you, Camilla?
Thank you.
That's a good message. Don't close your heart off. And it's easy to do that when you've been hurt, isn't it, Camilla?
It really is. But I think if I've grieved, I mean, it's a lot of shit. But I've grieved hard. I've cried hard. I've written hard. I hold a picture of me when I was that 7-year-old little girl, and I look at it every day. And I'm like, I've got you. I'll take care of you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And keep attacking that. That's good.
Yeah.
And, and I think that's great. And, keep pressing, and you're doing great. You really are. And I admire all the work you have done, Camilla. And Rizzo, I got to say, one more thing. You just pulled out of your fucking ass, man. That was brilliant. Don't close your heart. Dude, you're far more wise or charming than this dopey guy who doesn't think much of himself. You're full of shit when you say you got nothing worth loving. You've been kind of pretty impressive here. So, and Camilla, I think you're a beautiful and successful woman. And just, if you do nothing else than what I brought up tonight, just catch it in the small things.
Yeah.
And then it will never get big.
Right.
That's right. And even 5 years into the relationship, hell, I'm 12 years in on mine. And I got to say, hey, I need you to listen. Come on. You know, I get frustrated when you don't listen. I need you to listen. And my partner nips me in the butt. It's like, Sven, I need you to calm down. All right. I need you to bring your energy down. I know you're a passionate guy. I need you to bring it down, which is a weird thing to hear from a fucking Italian. My girlfriend is half Sicilian, half Positano. And it's really an Italian telling me to bring my energy down. Oh, that's rich. But she's right. So it never stops.
Yeah.
We're constantly teaching someone how to teach us. And you knew before your marriage that it wasn't right. Yeah. And you got to listen to that voice. And Rizzo, I personally think you're a hell of a man who's actually very good at articulating what's going on inside himself, that you could even say, she made me feel safe. Dude, you could have a very rich emotional connection with a woman in a way a lot of men can't, especially men our age, man. You've got a great life and love life ahead. It's just flushing the shit out, man. You're golden. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on the show. This has been a real treat. Truly, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Rob, any final thoughts?
You wrapped it up the way I was planning on wrapping it up. These are the thoughts that help us towards understanding. These thoughts that we've heard this episode. Camilla saying, I knew it was wrong, but I did it anyway. You have to look into that. Rosa saying, I need the safety of the understanding of having someone who cares about me. It's a great starting point for figuring yourself out.
Amen to that. Well said, Rob. Well said. So on behalf of my team, I think on behalf of all of my listeners, we can all thank Rizzo and Camilla for coming on the show. On behalf of my team, I thank all of our listeners around the world for everything you bring to this great, great show. On behalf of everyone, have a kick-ass day.
The Badass Counseling Show is strictly copyrighted. No copies may be made without the express written consent of the Badass Counseling Show, LLC. The Badass Counseling Show is produced by Karen Camparelli and Robert H. Friedman. Executive producer Sven Erlandson. Original music by two-time Emmy Award-winning composer Trevor Morris. Have a kick-ass day.